Well, in 2017, Jacinda Ardern made history when she became the world's youngest female head of government. She was just 37 years old when she stepped into a different kind of power as the Prime Minister of New Zealand.
Now in a brand new memoir, she's sharing never-before-heard stories from her rise to the top and why she walked away from it all. We caught up with the former PM for more. Boy, how relaxed do you look? Are you thinking about making a comeback to politics?
And ruin this face of serenity. No, well and truly retired from politics, but not from life. So it's really lovely to talk to you.
Well, one of the things you've done is write a memoir. A different kind of power comes out today. Why was now the right time for you to tell your story?
Well, it actually took me 2 years, so it was a pretty arduous process. At one point, a friend of mine described it as therapy with a deadline, and that was probably pretty accurate. I wanted to take my time to share what is ultimately probably not quite your usual political memoir. I wanted to share the more intimate details of how I came to be in leadership, what it feels like to lead, and also how someone who had a little bit of a confidence gap came to find himself as the leader of a country.
It is such an interesting time in politics, especially globally. How would you deal with Trump 2.0?
Well, of course I had to in my time in office. And, you know, at that time I took the view that I was going to do my job, and that was represent New Zealand's interests the best way that I could. Now I have, of course, the freedom to talk a little bit more broadly about what I see as differences in leadership styles in the world today. And sure, we have a particular form of political leadership that's getting a lot of airtime, but it is not the only form. And I do think it's time to shine a bit of a spotlight on some alternatives. And I do note that in the victory speech that PM Albanese gave on election night, he himself referenced the value and importance of kindness.
For the strength to show courage in adversity and kindness to those in need.
I mean, do you like him more than Scott Morrison?
I think you'll see in the book that I share a couple of hot takes.
Can you share them with us now?
It's fair to say I was pretty frustrated at some of the deportation experiences we were having. And so I share the story of on the way to the podium, saying to him, I'm going to have to be public about our frustrations. We've reached an impasse, we're not getting anywhere. And it's fair to say he was fairly dismissive. Send back Kiwis, genuine Kiwis. Do not deport your people and your problems.
So the Liberal Party here in Australia just elected its first female leader, Susan Lee, and one of the first things she did was reduce the number of women in her shadow cabinet. What do you make of that? Do you think there's a responsibility once women get to the top that they need to bring others along with them?
Yeah, I mean, look, this is what I'd say, and I'm always careful not to dive straight into other people's domestic politics, of course, but it's certainly in my experience, in our parliaments, it's our job to represent the communities we serve. And I felt so proud when the New Zealand Parliament reached 50% women, because you could not tell me, nor could you tell anyone, that there weren't 60 good women in New Zealand that deserved to be in the New Zealand Parliament. And so to have reached that milestone was actually a reflection that we were a place that looked like the community we served.
So what are you going to do now? I mean, you must be looking forward to spending some more time in the greatest country on earth, Australia.
Do you know what? I'm impressed. That's taken at least 10 minutes before that found its way into this interview. I congratulate you.
I was just holding back.
I have family in Australia. I consider it a great place. Greater is a stretch. Come summer, I'm going to be over and doing a bit more around the book, and I'm really looking forward to it.
You can enjoy an Australian pavlova.
Yes, with that great Aussie Russell Crowe.
You know what, guys? Don't start a fight you can't finish. That's all I'm going to say.
There you go. Well, Jacinda's new book, A Different Kind of Power, is out now. She's one of those people, I reckon, who delivers, if you were like married to her, she would deliver extremely bad news with that smile on her face.
And you'd be sort of cowering on the inside.
I see you've left your towel down on the floor.
And you would know exactly what that means.
I see it's 2 hours past when you said you were getting home.
Someone's in trouble.
Anyhow, it's nice to talk to you.
It sure was.